So we were talking about uh, what is management, why management is needed in our last class. Today we will continue from there. Uh, we have seen that there are five aims are related with management. That is main, material, machines, method, money. These five words, which is every word is starting with letter M. So that is regarded as five aims of management. Next, if we can extend this 5M, then we can get another 2M, uh, that is marketing and maintenance. So all total, it becomes 7 M's of management. So this is uh, a very vital question also. It can come in your exam. That is, what are the 5 M's or 7 M's of management? Now, next we have seen that there are two approaches. There are two approaches of management. One is known as traditional approach of management, and another is known as modern approach of management. In the traditional approach of management, we found that uh, customer, the position of the customer uh, is below of the pyramid. So here the in the traditional approach, the position of the customer, if you see, it is below of the all the things. That is, at first, top level management is there, then middle level management is coming, and then frontline managers or frontline people are coming of an organization. Uh, Frontline people means those who are actually working in the field or like that, and then comes customers. So that is the approach, the traditional approach, where our motto was that getting things done by other. That is traditional approach. But in the modern approach of management says something different. In the modern approach of management, customers are coming at first, then the frontline people who are actually working directly with the customer, then middle level management, and finally top level management. So in the traditional approach, it is much more customer oriented. Sorry, it is much more organizational oriented approach. In the modern approach, it is customer oriented approach we are following. And in the modern approach, we can say that it's a democratic kind of approach. Now, democratic kind of approach, as because here we are trying to find out the actual need of the customer at first, and then we are trying to design our products and all that, or service, whatever you say. Basically, there are two kinds of thing. One can be product, another can be service. Some organizations are product oriented, some organizations are service oriented. So basically, mm, this both kind of uh, this both kind of uh, service or product, be it be service or product, it is designed in customer oriented approach or modern approach. It is designed according to the need of the customers. So this is the difference between traditional approach and modern approach of management. So up to this we have covered up, I think, in the last class, or that was our first class eventually of this subject. So I hope you don't have any problem up to this. Uh, Today we will start uh, with some more topics, but before that, let me take your attendance because it is very vital. 1 minute. I'm just taking your attendance. Yeah. So what I was saying, that is the modern approach and traditional approach of management. Uh, Nowadays, if we look uh, uh, in our surroundings, we will found that all are were following uh, modern approach of management generally. We don't much believe in traditional approach nowadays. We believe in modern approach where we create an environment in the workplace for the people who are working. They are working in groups and they can perform effectively and efficiently towards the achievement of the goal. And not only that, they can participate in modern approach. They can participate in any decision that is being made for the corresponding organization. So all people have some say in modern approach, and that's why it is known as democratic approach of management. So up to this we have covered up. Now today we will start with another very vital topic, uh, which is known as, we will try to understand that whether management is a science or management is an art of uh, academic section. I mean, whether we can think management as a science or we can think it as an art. So let us try to find out whether it is a science or a art. So basically, if we look management from the art perspective, uh, then we can say that as uh, by management we are trying to organize, is trying to manage human talent. Because if you think, you will found that with management we're trying to uh, manage different human talent in an organization. There could be different talented people, like some people are very expert in accounts, some people are very expert in marketing, some people are very expert in human resource, some people are very expert in separate engineering sections. Some are the civil engineers, some are maybe mechanical engineers, some are maybe computer science engineers, so like that. So basically what we are doing, we're actually managing different kind of people who are talented people, experts in different fields. So that's why we can say that management uh, is an art, because we are managing them. So that needs some art, that needs some ability. So in that respect, we can say that management is an art. Now, what I have told you, uh, that is because you know that to manage them, a manager, to manage different kind of talented people, a manager needs to have uh, you can say some qualities. Now what are those qualities? Now, the qualities are like a people who is managing, I mean a manager who is managing different people, who he or she should have some practical knowledge at first. What is going on, what is actually going on in other organizations, so this kind of thing, what it is actually. uh, so that is practical knowledge. Then a very vital thing, that is known as personal skill. A manager who is managing different people should have some personal skill, some skill to manage people, some skill so that he can realize that what is actually going on. So he should have some knowledge that what is going on. So that is some personal skill. Now, under personal skill, there are different other skills like soft skill, communication skill, whatever you say, that is also included. Because if you don't have much communication skill, then it is difficult to manage people, because you have to communicate. Ultimately, at the end of the day, you have to communicate with people. So that's why you are saying personal skill. Then creative approach. You should have a manager should have some creative approach. If the particular thing is not happening in this way, so we have to find out another way of solving the problem, to solve the problem. So that is the creativity. You should have some thinking mind. You have to think that, okay, thing is not going on in this way, so I have to find out some alternative way. So what will be that alternative way, so that we can find out, we can solve this problem. So that's why, that for that you need some creativity as a manager. So creativity is another approach, another basic quality. Then uh, you have to achieve. Suppose you have joined as a manager in an organization very recently, so you will not have much experience. With experience, when you will add some value to your within yourself, then uh, your perfection will increase. The same problem previously, how you will tackling, um, uh, after 5 years or 10 years of work experience, you can tackle it in different way, more better way, in a more better way. So that is basically you are getting through your practice, because you have several times you have gone through the similar situation, and so that you know that in what situation which approach will give you best result. So that is we are trying to say, that is perfection through practice actually. And you can think it as practice, or that word as experience also. I mean, whenever you will get experienced, your perfection will increase. And you can relate this with your day-to-day life, because in our day-to-day life, when some situation is new to us, some problematic situation which is new to us, um, uh, it is not so, we sometimes we not feel so comfortable. But if the situation is not new to us, if that situation we have handled previously as well, then we can think that how a better way, or what will be the better way to handle it. So that is the thing what I'm trying to say. And next, the goal oriented approach. That means a manager always, he or she should be goal oriented, should have some goal oriented approach. That means you are trying to solve the problem, you are trying to reach your ultimate goal. And to reach that ultimate goal, you have to traverse through a path where some problems will come, and you have to solve those problems. But your ultimate goal is fixed. That is your ultimate goal, that uh, uh, by traversing this path, you have to ultimately reach to that goal. So you should have some goal oriented approach. So that is basically uh, uh, some points, some you can say some activities or some qualities of a manager. And that's why this practical knowledge, personal skill, because personal skill, if you think personal skill is a art. Suppose somebody is very good in drawing, that is his personal skill. Somebody is very good in communication, it is his or her personal skill. Somebody is very good at bargaining with people, this is also a quality. So that is the personal skill. And then creativity, your creativity, how can you have a very creative mind, and for through that creative mind you can and tackle a different situation in a very you can say, in your word, very cool manner. Very coolly you can tackle the problems. So that is your creativity, that is your, and you can, so you have a thinking mind. So thinking mind is very important. So this is also an art. Your creative mind, it is your art. You have achieved this, through your experience and all that. Next is through practice or through experience, that you are increasing your level of perfection. Level of perfection means how perfectly you can tackle the particular thing, because everywhere there are some errors. There is a chance of errors everywhere. So if we can minimize that error as much as possible, if we can minimize that error, that is our level of perfection. And the next one is the goal-oriented approach. You should have a goal-oriented approach. So all these are basically part of art, different art. So that's why we can say that management is an art. But management is not only this. Management means it is not only this, not only these things what I have discussed. With that, management follows a systematic method to find the solution of a problem. Because if you are not systematic, then it is a problem for you. If you are not systematic enough, then it is a problem for you. If you are not following a systematic approach, then you will be, at some point of time, you may feel that you are not able to solve the problem, as because there are lots of problems. There will be not a single problem that you have to handle as a manager. There will be lots of problems in front of you. And solving the problems, that's why organizations will pay you. If you can solve the problem in the hassle-free manner, then you are a good manager. Then that's why you are being paid off. Otherwise, nobody will pay you as because you have a degree of BB, or degree of MB, or whatever it may be. So you have to ultimately solve the problems. And to solve the problems in a hassle-free manner, in a free manner, you should follow a systematic approach. There is a systematic approach. Like at first, when you are trying to solve a problem, at first you should have the concepts that what is the problem, why it can be, why it is generating, what may be the source of it, where I have to hit so that I can solve the problem. So that is the concepts. So when you are solving a problem, concept is necessary. That yeah, I'm solving this problem, and I know that this problem may generate from these areas, or due to these things. So this concept is necessary. So concept will not come in a single day. It will come through your studies, through your experience, work experience, and your other different abilities. With your other different abilities, it will come. And it will be in your brain. And you have to use your gray material. That is your brain, actually. That is concepts. Next, you have to know different methods and principles. Suppose you are trying to solve an engineering problem. So you have to know, maybe you are not a very technical person, but still you should know that you should know minimum technical minimum method, that yeah, it is going on in that way, it is going on in that other way. Like suppose somebody is working as a manager in a textile mill, like in your district. I know that Aditya Birla, they have a textile mill at Rishra in Hooghly Jilla. I'm talking about the Hooghly Jilla. And there are other textile mills also. So where suppose a person who is working as a manager, whose job is to managing different people, who is actually engaged in production. So that particular person should have the concept, should have the methods, and should know the methods and principles, that how this raw material is ultimately converted into the finished good. That is how the different raw material which is needed for a in a textile mill, that is being converted to finished good. So at least he should have have that concept. He should know the method, that how it is being converted, in which after I mean how, in how many steps, how many intermediary steps it is converted to ultimately a finished good. So that method, that concept, he should have, he or she should have, though he is not a technical person. I'm not saying that he has to know it very well very well technically, no, but the overall thing should be in his or her mind. Otherwise he cannot solve the problem, he or she cannot solve the problem. Then some theories, you should know some theories of management, you should know, you should have some analytical approach, and this analytical approach will come with some theoretical approach as well. So these theories you should have know. Then you should have some I mean, I have already covered some knowledge regarding all these processes and theories and all that, how it is going on, what are the different intermediary steps, who is from where the raw materials are coming, who are our vendors, what is their past record, uh, uh, what are the different machineries are involved in the overall production. Mm, uh, all these things you should have as your knowledge. And then the ultimately what you are doing, ultimately you are practicing these things, you are practicing your theories, whatever you know, you are practicing the methods and principles, what you know, you are practicing your concepts to solve the problem in a practical way. So you see, in science we actually do that. We have some theories in our mind, we have some concepts in our mind, we have some knowledge in our mind, and we ultimately practice those things in a real field. So that's why we can say management is a science as well. So basically management is both. Management, this particular term, this particular subject, it is a combination of art as well as science. Like without art you cannot solve any problem, because tackling human talent, tackling people is an art. And not only that, only tackling people will not solve your problem always. So you should have know some theories, know some concepts, you should have some concepts, whatever you are doing, what problem you are trying to solve, you should have some statistics in your mind, and you have to practice those things, you have to apply those things to solve the problem. So in that way management is a science as well. So that's why we say management is an art as well as it is science. It is given that elements of art in management I have already discussed, like practical knowledge. You should have some practical knowledge, personal skill, creativity, perfection through practice, whatever you will achieve, and you should have a goal-oriented approach. So these are the elements of art in management. I have separately given you for the note. Okay. Next is why it is in science, as I discussed, like you should have some scientific approach, you should have some scientific concept, you should know the methods and principles, how it is going on, that you will observe through your that you will achieve through your observation actually. You may not be studied or on that, you may not be expertised on that, so that will not make any difference. You have to observe it, you have to learn by observing it in an organization. That's why these internships, that's why this work experience are needed for a newly appointed manager and all that. Okay, so that's why these internships and these things are very important, to get some practical exposure. We say some practical exposure, how it is going on when you are observing other people, that how he is solving this problem, how he or she is tackling the problem. So you will learn by observing them. and after some time you will be able to practice those things in your work area. So that is the need of, that's why the it is a very, internships and training is very important. Real life training, practice, practical exposure, to gain practical exposure is very important in management. So next is some theories, as I told you, some theories of management or some theories of analytical approach is very important to know. And then basically science is an organized knowledge. If you think science is basically organized knowledge, we have the knowledge which we have gathered in an organized way. So that's why we say that this organized knowledge, this point. So actually, if we compare the management at the present day, it is a distinct field of organized knowledge. Concepts, methods, principles, theories, etc. are now the core of management. Basically, it's the main thing of management. You should have some concepts, you should know the methods, you should have some principles of management. That is, you are doing. There's some theories you should know. Theories you are doing actually at very basic level. Now you are learning theories through your different subjects. Like in economics, you are learning some theories. Like in like in you should say uh, uh, like your other subjects, you are learning some theories.
স্যার ডিমান্ড ইকোনমিক্স না যে ডিমান্ড থিওরি আছে ওইগুলো ওরকম টাইপ
There are different now at first semester, what you are learning, that is basically the very basic theories of economics, of mathematics and statistics. You are learning the management principles of management. What are the different principles of management? What is management? So you are learning now in first semester, what you are learning, you are learning communication, the basics of communication. So these are very basic things which is giving you some knowledge, which is helping you to build up your concept. So that's why these subjects are there. Later on, with how you will progress in other semesters, subsequent semesters, you will get more theories, more knowledges and all that. But with that, another thing is very important, that is to gain some practical exposure. How these theories and these, when you will go to the fifth semester or sixth semester, you will have these knowledge and these theories. That is no problem with that. But after that, you have to understand that how you can how people are applying these knowledges and these theories in real life problem solving approach. For that, you need some internship, and that is there. If you see your new syllabus, that is there in your syllabus. Internship has been included at sixth semester. It is very important. So you have to find out some organization, you have to find out some organization where you can see, you can observe as an intern that how they are applying this thing, how they are applying these knowledges and these theories in real life field. And as this is a practical oriented approach where people are applying their knowledge, their concepts practically, so we can say that management is a science as well. Okay, so at some time management is art, and at some point of time management is a science. So basically it's a combination of both. Only art will not help you at all time, and only science, only knowing theories, you think only knowing theories will not work. You have to know that how you can apply that theories to solve the problem. You have to know how you can tackle the problem. Like I am telling you a very basic problem, the conflict management. There are different conflicts will occur among your employees. It happens even in your class also. Sometimes conflicts occurs. So as a good manager, you have to try to solve those conflicts. um, uh, we should not ignore it. As a manager, we should face it, and we should uh, uh, solve it. And that is basically a good manager, the quality of good manager. That is basically the quality of a good manager. How he or she can solve the conflicts in a hassle free manner, in a smoothly, without hampering. Because at all time you have to uh, uh, keep in your mind that you have to achieve that goal. You have some specific goal which is assigned by your organization to you. That suppose you have to achieve 20% market share in this year. So that is your ultimate goal, what you have to achieve. To achieve that goal, if you found some difficulties, you have to solve those problems. Suppose somebody is not working properly, you have some machineries are not working properly, some machineries are going down day by day, so that machinery needs servicing, but that servicing is not possible because of this pandemic situation. People are not coming, so you have to solve that problem in some other approach. That may be different approaches, but at that time, at the same time, you have to manage people. Suppose you say, okay, machinery's production rate is going down, so let us increase the production hour. So for that, people will be need to put more labor. So many people may not be agree with your point. So that is the confliction will start. Some set of people will say, okay, we have no problem. Some set of people will say, okay, we have problems. So confliction, you have to manage those confliction. You have to solve those problems. And solving those problems, ultimately your goal is to increase, is to achieve the market share. That is your ultimate goal. So that is basically the approaches, that is basically the things you are applying as a manager, you are doing as a manager. And these things you will only can experience, can experience if you go to some internship and all that kind of thing. What you will get, I mean, in your syllabus, as it is there in your syllabus, so you will get it in your 6th semester. There are lots of things, lots of organizations are there who provides internships and like that. That will help you. Okay, so this is the thing. So that's why we say management is a science as well as art, because science teaches us to know while art teaches us to do. Okay, in science, look, if you see in science, science actually discovers the thing. Science actually discovers the thing which was there previously. Also, it was there, but we did not. Did not have any information about that. Science discovers those things, but art creates. Arts actually creates new thing. When you are writing a poem, suppose you are a good writer, you are writing a poem, so you are creating that poem. That was not there. You are creating that. But suppose somebody is discovers, I'm just giving you just an example. Somebody is discovering that somebody has discovered electricity. Okay, so the components was there. Component were there in the environment. We have just learned to use them. So science actually teaches us to know, and art teaches us to do. Then things are there. You can see, to be successful managers, we have to know and do things effectively and efficiently. Okay, and since the science of managing is imperfect, actually, the manager must turn to artistic managerial ability to perform a job satisfactorily. That what I have told you, that only science, only knowing the thing will not solve your problem. With that, you have to know how you can apply those things. So that is basically that's why these are the points you can say. where that's why we considered management as a science as well as art. Okay. So our this session is we have not much time left. On less than 1 minute it is showing. So I'm giving you another session. Please join at that session. Come to the next session I'm giving you.
Okay, sir.